Welcome back, Team Fortress TV viewers. We are back live at Multiplay's i55 event. Later stages of the tournament now. You are joined by Team Fortress TV, Arx and Beta. It's been about a year since we had our last cast, but it's great to be back, Arx.
Yep, a long time it has been. I think, well, the last time I was here was at the last major event that we had. So it certainly has been a long time, but hopefully that won't degrade the games or the cast.
Right, so if you have just joined us, you have missed some great matches so far. Now we are approaching the later stages of the tournament, lower round 4. Next up, Last Resort versus Ascent, so another European versus the States matchup lineup. Rivalry still there, Arx, after 3 years since we had the first American teams come over, and both American teams now in the lower bracket. So spoiler alert, both teams now in the lower bracket. I should have said that beforehand.
yeah, it's certainly been an interesting tournament. I mean, definitely the most competitive that we've had so far.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, to see, I think in all the previous I-Series, like these major world championship tournaments we've had, the top teams have always come from the upper bracket and stayed there until the grand final. But in this case, I mean, we've had some of the favorite teams just, well, knocked down into the lower bracket. And I mean, it's anyone's tournament,
Yeah, and as Arx alluded to there, so let's quickly concentrate on, well, let's primarily concentrate on Ascent and TLR for the moment. So lower round 4, let's tell you how they got there. So Last Resort actually knocked down into lower bracket by Nerd Rage, and of course Ascent also losing out to Reason earlier on in the tournament, and that was actually last night. And they've continued through. So just to summarize, the loser of this best of 3 will be going out, and the maps have already been chosen. We know what they are. It's going to be Granary, Badlands, and Snakewater, and it's going to be an interesting affair.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, both of these teams, the Last Resort, I remember in the group stages on Friday, they put up some really strong performances, and it's surprising to see them at this stage, but it certainly they should be doing good in this one. And Ascent, again, kind of surprising to see them at this point in the lower bracket. Would have thought that actually they probably should have been in the upper still, but there's been a lot of surprises, and well, we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, so of course, if you missed some of yesterday's action, so we had some very big upsets or surprises, of which TLR holding Yo-Yo Tech to 1-1 on that map they played last evening, and well, that would probably make, Arx, in my opinion, probably make TLR favourites for this, but never say never, never say die, and Ascent, they will be aware that if they lose this game, or if they lose this best of 3, they will be going home. Well, the last thing they'll be looking forward to or be waiting for is their flight. None of that grand final rigmarole tomorrow.
I mean, what place bracket is this? Is this the 5th, 6th, or teams, or is it?
Well,
it's certainly not a position that they would want to, that either of these teams would want to be finishing in. I think both of these teams have set their goals a lot higher than finishing here. So, I mean, the team that does get knocked out of this tournament, and one of them is gone after this game, well, after this best of 3.
That's right.
I don't think they're going to be happy with that performance.
That's right, and who would have put their money on TLR? Coming, you know, actually holding Yo-Yo Tech yesterday as a Yo-Yo Tech sponsor here, as I keep on getting confused. But sort of a quickly built team. Well, coming in for highs with that broken arm, and of course, Alpha, all the way from Canada, dealing with that jet lag and having a great performance so far. It's just going to be an interesting lineup, and it is in fact going to be Granary first, Arx. So deathmatch heaven. Yeah, it's always been one of those deathmatch heavy maps, all the way through to that yard area. It's that second, so many choke points to get through, and expect a lot of bombing from corners and windows. And we are ready to rock and roll. Arx, run us through to that first mid.
Okay, so both of the teams are making their way through now. Demomen opting to go through the right-hand doors. A lot of damage over on Toward, takes half health, and actually it does look like Bononsky just managing to pick up that health pack as a jump comes in from AMS now up onto the balcony. He does manage to jump over now. Scouts putting a lot of pressure up him on top of the crate now as Nico down on the floor. Pot shotting up to one of Scouts, gets 1 kill, double kill, and they are chasing them out of this point, leaving just ×2 on the point to cap. Are they going to wipe them out? They indeed have, as TLR coming up strong on that mid-fight.
What a first mid-fight. Ascent completely wiping on that mid-fight, and spawn wave only for 2 people, still 4 seconds remaining on the rest. And they're ready to rock and roll. They've already got that Uber Serotonin 100% as we see some stickies from that far left-hand corner on the great door. But Arx, they're not hanging around. Nico already looking like he's going to push up top. And actually, in fact, to my surprise, taking their time, letting them set up.
I don't really agree with that call there because the Fragile his spawn time was the last. He was the last one to go down, and he's now got a chance to overheal a lot of his players. If they had have just come in, which it does look like they are now, so in jumps one of the soldiers now trying to put some damage out over onto the Demo Man. And in fact, just looking at Enigma now over behind the medic, does manage to shoot him down with the scattergun. He's now over onto around the pipe just here, and it looks like they're managing to hold this.
Interesting play. There's still fight going on there at last, but the scouts were held back by Shrugger, in fact. And now we see Enigma coming onto that second CP. Takes down Herpy as well, and he's got the heals.
Watch out behind. Backcap's coming in behind.
Coming in behind. Malia coming for that block. And still that second CP being recaptured by Enigma. Great work by the scouts of Ascent there. Shrugger coming in to hold off Herpy and Nico. And now they're looking like trying to get out to Yard Arx.
Yeah, they know they've got that player advantage. The spawns have come in now as Enigma and Shrugger both get taken down. Rando just making sure that he can deal with that jumping soldier, and that is Alpha going down. And again, they're just getting the numbers here. Medic's coming on his own into the point, trying to get some Ubersaw hits, but that's not going to happen. Rando takes down Serotonin, and now Scout's jumping in. He has managed to force the Uber, but this is surely going to be Ascent pushing their way through to the midpoint. It does look like Nico's trying to do what he can, but he is forced to back off as Rockets and Stickies come in over onto him, and it looks like Ascent are going to be onto the midpoint.
Yeah, TLR can't hold on to that third point. Maybe potentially overextended there. Warher, just in that garage area trying to get some Stickies down on the point, but don't think it's really going to work. So TLR start to build that Uber back left of the yard. Times 7 on points. And all the point, everyone on point there trying to stop any further spawns, but they're already in. And this is where we may see a little bit of a stalemate, Arx, and we'll see, but Ascent poking, trying to get through those choke points, and Alpha doing a great job trying to spam them away. And let's switch it up to Badonsky, who's just running that loose cannon through the gap, trying to force his way through there, that pushback, of course. Just happy to slow down, of course, very fast start. And after that wipe, what a comeback from Ascent. I mean, that is a nerve rattler. And they've done a good job to settle here, I think, Arx.
Yeah, that is. I think they just needed that, really. They were losing, well, just completely bleeding points there. And they just needed this little bit of stalemate. And that's the kind of thing which Granary generally can offer these teams, is especially between this second and third point. There is a lot of, well, there can be a lot of downtime now. But this time, both teams have got Uber. Alpha is actually down, so that's going to put the attacking team of Ascent with that player advantage. But they've still got to get through these narrow choke points, as the Fragile is making his way through. Sticky Trap doesn't quite get him. They have managed to secure that outer left side, and now both of the Ubers have been forced. And it looks like actually that Ascent are forced to back out. TLR does have the positioning on them, and well, they're going to have to recycle this, or are TLR going to be able to push forward? Rando does get dropped down. That's 2 players down for Ascent. TLR still trying to push a few players through, but their health is getting really, really low here. And one of the soldiers does manage to go down there. TLR still with that player advantage.
Wow, the TLR actually coming through that garage area now. They're going to retake 3, as Arx alluded to. Oh, keep an eye on Enigma, trying to get sneaky. Alpha taking so much damage there. Drops down onto the medback, of course, and Ascent falling back to that yard area, as Arx alluded to. So Ascent actually falling back there. They had their flanks completely exposed because Enigma went down on the right-hand, well, the left-hand door entrance, depending on which way you're looking at it. And, Herpy gets caught there as well, so one of the scouts, could that delay it? Will do, and TLR looking like they're just going to set up, and Marley actually trying to come through that right-hand area, taking so much damage, spammed back, but getting those heals, and again, just quite happy to wait their turn, and they're in Arx. They have finally got through that choke point, and here they come. Yeah,
TLR letting them through the choke point now. Big battle on mid. Both of the Ubers have been popped. Who's going to be able to force who out as the soldiers for TLR both go airborne up onto the crates? It does look like Mailer's in a bit of trouble, but jumps back out again. Try and hit an air shot over onto the soldier. It was super close, but he doesn't manage to connect. And now it's Alpha's turn, but he gets absolutely destroyed by Mailer again, who's still floating around that point. Very low health. He's surely going down now. He's somehow managed to dodge around, but finally he does get taken down as TLR. Well, they are just stuck on this mid, seeing maybe if they can make a push through, but they're at a little Uber deficit right now.
Yeah, TLR obviously just waiting for the next spawn wave, which is in a couple of seconds. They need the flank for their scouts, so protect that flank, and obviously a little bit fast-paced to get through the gaps when it's been made. Warher, just trying to spam his way through almost. AMS trying to help out there as well, and Badonsky does take War down, overextending there, and Alpha could be in trouble here as well. If they lose them as well, they will push, and here they come up. So again, Rando right up top. Scout comes up to meet and greet, taken down by AMS. AMS taking down Shrugger as well. Need to take care of him on that blue crate. Uber is popped, and they're still pushing forward. TLR now losing some players, but here comes Serotonin with that counter Uber, and Ascent probably going to fall back as they lose 3 on that push, and Fragile so weak.
Scouts over on the medic now. There was only a soldier and a medic. Demo Man has come into backup, but Enigma does manage to take down Serotonin there, and also War actually, and now he's on to another one, but Mela comes in and takes down Herpy. And now it looks like Ascent are going to be able to recap this midpoint. A lot of players going down, and well, it was a bit of a messy fight.
Yeah,
there.
messy fight on that midpoint, and TLR eventually giving it up. Something that we used to see our American friends do, just never letting a fight end. But TLR wisely down to 2 players in the end, can't keep chucking them in. And as we see Patera Zone and the Scout building fast in that back left yard, they will have no choice but to give that up. And we're looking at a roughly 40% advantage. Alpha taking down Rando there, so that's been called. He switches back up immediately to Soldier come rejoin the fight. TLR defending up top as well, so it's just a little bit of stalemate again, Arx. Obviously they're not going to try and push through without that Uber, and looking like they favour the stairs side entrance, or maybe the Z as well.
Well, they do have that Uber advantage, but it's very small, and this could actually be bad if they all... One player down, so defending team in a bit of trouble here, especially with the Uber deficit, but now they're catching up, and I don't think that medic's going to go down before he gets his Uber. That he is stickied off. He's going to have to Uber into the point if they are going to take him, but he hasn't quite got it. He's still on 97%. Great play from War, managing to take down one of the soldiers, and Serotonin sitting there now with his Uber, has managed to pop it, but have they got the numbers here? It does look like it's going to be a 4v. I think there's only 2 or 3 players in the point still, and Ascent getting a lot of time on the point. Scout's going to try and cap that out, which will give them the forward respawns, and TLR surely have to back off to their last.
Yeah, Alpha coming in for the cheeky spam there up top, but here comes AMS!
Oh!
It gets taken down just in time by Shrugger and Marley. It's just not going to work for them, but Ascent trying to get outside of that second point, and they have, and Serotonin could be in trouble.
Oh!
Serotonin taken down by Enigma. Marley turns around and gets Alpha as well on the pipe. It's a 5-on-3 at the moment. Ascent surely, but Nico and Ward going to work on that Ascent team and pushing him all the way back. Great play by Nico. Finally takes down Fragile. It's a 3-kill streak, and that's a wipe from Ascent.
Again, another messy fight. Scouts coming up huge for both teams there. Are any players going to get the forward spawn? Well, no, it looks like actually that Maya is sat back on that midpoint, and RTL are going to be able to push out. I think they're just waiting for all their players just to regroup and get focused. It's still 0-0 here, and I mean, we haven't even had 10 minutes yet. So there's plenty of time for both teams, and I think they're starting to settle.
Yeah, so 20 minutes remaining here. You are with Team Fortress TV's Arx Beta, bringing you lower round 4 of the multiplayer i55 event. The loser of this will be going home. This is the first map of best of 3. Badlands and Snakewater follow, and TLR versus Ascent at the moment. 0-0 the score, as we see TLR with about a 30% Uber advantage, Arx, as we watch the play slow down. But after all that spamming, do they know it, Arx? Will they know they have that advantage? And we've said many times that those slight advantages can mean everything when trying to take those points.
Yes, they can indeed. I've noticed that the Fragile is throwing out a lot of fake Uber shouts just to throw opponents off, and one of them did work earlier as TLR had to back off from the second point, thinking that the Fragile did have his Uber up before he actually did. They knew he had an advantage in that situation, but we'll have a look who is going to make the move here. I always find that the attacking team should be the ones to make the move, but often you find defending teams are the ones who to send out a roamer and see if they can force an Uber and get some ground back. It is a bit more risky, as we see TLR now making their way up to the choke points in that garage area.
Here comes Rando.
Getting some spam. In comes Rando now jumping over. He's not got the distance. Scout, great shots on him from Herpy, just completely shutting him down mid-air. And is that the player advantage that will cause them to push? Sometimes this is a bit risky because you've still got to get through a choke point, and you're often the team to pop your Uber beforehand. And in comes AMS now. Jumpy gets a lot of damage over on Shrugger, but he returns even more damage on him. Very low health, but they've made their way inside of the point now. And are they... Well, Uber's popped.
Yeah, Uber has been popped by Fragile. Badonsky goes down in the background. AMS needs to take care of the scouts. And it looks like Badonsky... Actually, in fact, it wasn't Badonsky. It was Rando who actually fell back. It's very weak. Back cap going on time still on point. They will need to send someone back for that. They will need to send someone back. It's Enigma at the back.
They're not going
to make it. AMS still chasing, and Enigma is going to run uncontested. Oh, wait. We do have a spawn with Alpha. It's Alpha who's going to come in and block it, but he does do enough. But great play by Enigma, forcing TLR to fall all the way back, and it should allow Ascent to take... Serotonin's going to get caught. No, he doesn't. Wow. Serotonin, how on earth did he escape there? Escaped with 34 HP. Nico coming in to block Shrugger as well, and I was going to say they should be able to walk into second uncontested, and just about have as finally TLR recapture, but they won't be holding on too long again. Serotonin in such a dangerous position. Look at him with the Demo Man just in that back right-hand corner here, and he's finally taken down by Marley. That is disastrous for TLR. We could be looking at a 1-0 coming up in a moment with War so weak as well. He has no choice but to stand outside the fight and wait for the spawn wave to come in, Arx.
Yeah, with a full Uber advantage, this is the time when they can take their time, and they opt to run fast. Sniper is going to try and get a shot out onto Medic, but the Uber is forced very early, and he's surely going to go in and change. No, he's opting to stay out there, but full team of 6 in over onto the point. Not much time on there at the moment, but Medic and Soldier combo standing on there as now TLR jumping down to try and do it. Medic's on the point on his own, nearly caps it out. Everybody's jumping for the point, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get this here. Scout and Soldier jumping in, they just need to touch it, and they do manage to get in. Ascent taking the first round 1-0 with 18 minutes remaining.
No, Arx, I thought for a second that TLR were going to do enough, but they didn't. I just don't think they did enough focus fire. They just didn't get enough damage and the kills in. And we see Podolski missing his rollout there, so it's going to be delayed. Let's see where War comes in onto the point. Obviously, notoriously quite fast. They're ready on that big med pack. Podolski's so weak up top, he probably won't know that. Scouts up top there as well, as we are watching AMS now coming through. Uncontested, turns around, get that jumping Soldier. Still uncontested, gets enough, just misses the air shot on the Soldier. Alpha does get taken down in the background, and Fragile so weak, falling out. AMS doesn't get him, and TLR only Serotonin, and it's gonna be a wipe for that mid-fight, and it's all changed. Ascent in that first round, and now TLR wiping, and Podolski already on the 4th CP.
That's it. We thought maybe TLR might be able to come up with a response after going a round down, but it's Ascent who are carrying all of the momentum forward here, taking that second point now, 4th point even from their perspective.
Alpha running
as
sniper.
It looks like, yeah, Alpha's having to sit back. And yeah.
Yeah, so Alpha just watching that window up top pipe as well. It would have been called now Engineer Nico as well, so full sort of defense from TLR will know they have a huge advantage. Ascent can take their time. Looking like they fancy coming up top. Oh, Soldier blown away. They're going to have to heal them up before they go anywhere. All this extra time giving Serotonin the time he needs, and Uber has been popped so early. And here they come, Arx. They're running onto point. Fragile. Everyone goes out of reach. There is time on point, ×2 there. Someone needs to come in and block. Sentry does its job. So much power to that heavy and Sentry. Marley and Enigma still alive, but only Marley falling back, and fortunately, Fragile gets out, but surely TLR are going to re-push Arx.
Yeah, that's they surely will do here. As let's have a look if they are going to be able to send anyone. It does look like Enigma's over on top. He has been seen, so he's opting to just push back there. But he's down over onto the Medic. Is he going to be able to get him down? He does manage to take down Serotonin now, and wow, he goes down himself. But that's a great pick.
Yeah, Ascent actually again coming through that 4th CP right-hand area. War stuck in a backhand corner, so weak, so much time going to be coming on point. Someone needs to come in and block that. Not going to do enough. 2-0 the score, and we have approximately 15 minutes left. And again, Ascent and TLR just looking like Ascent, more stronger team at the moment. Let's see how Podolski does on that rollout this time. A little bit better this time. Doesn't hit that wall as we see Podolski now just coming through that garage area. Let's follow him to mid this time. It's taking off War. War gets just the med pack just in time, but will be very, very weak. It looks like Alpha's tried to get round the back there. I'm not sure if that has been called, but let's follow Marley as it comes to the point. Air shot on Alpha to get taken down. TLR in that back right-hand corner. They will need to get out of there, but Nico and her beat going huge, taking down Shrugger and Marley. Will they do enough? They have forced Ascent out. There's only 2 players remaining, and finally TLR win that mid-fight as we just wait for Arx's computer to come back alive. As usual, it's always problems with us too, and TLR not hanging around. They know the time's against them. Watch those stickies above the point, and Ascent defensive back right-hand corner. Not sure they're going to be able to hold them there. Just watching where Enigma is right now. It hasn't been called. Trying to get out through that stairs area. Hasn't been called. Now, well, TLR falling back. And here comes the Uber. Uber is in. Demo Man of Podolski in big trouble. Takes care of Nico, but Rando comes down as well to help out Alpha. And it looks like they're going to hold on to that second point.
That is the case as a Scout juggled up in the air now. It does look like Mela is able to take down another player as they are chasing the Medic. Arrow does get fired out. Soldier's going in really aggressive. Rocket takes him out. Serotonin will not escape this time, as now Soldier's just over onto the midpoint, ×3 on there, and it looks like they're going to take it back. Scout getting a sneaky pot shot in, but he's brave if he went in.
Mela taking down Serotonin so late now. Going to be a huge advantage for the Fragile, and of course it's Ascent team. 75%. Serotonin still hasn't started building. 80%. 85% coming up before Serotonin started building. And finally, it's 85% Uber advantage. Not going to be able to do much, and I believe they're already in on that stairs area. Shrugger's up top, not called. Mela now coming in as well. The rest of the team through that stairs area, Arx, TLR have to fall back.
Yeah, I mean, Ascent have pretty much got this for free, and a brave move from the top. Now, they realize their Uber advantage. Are they going to go in through the top? No, they're just opting to take the point instead. It looked like they were going to send a team of 3 with the Uber charge just to go in and try and wreak some havoc in the point. But instead, they get it for free, and they keep their... Oh, I would say they keep their Uber advantage.
Serotonin! Serotonin taken down. And it's AMS now in big trouble as well. War isolated on his own. Mela surfing away. Fragile's taken down as well. Herpy and AMS getting some kills there. I'm surprised they managed to do that. And again, Herpy just getting down Nigma, and Ascent now actually in trouble, waiting for that respawn wave 2 seconds further. And to my surprise, TLR are actually going to retake their second CP.
And to be honest, they needed to do that with only 12 minutes 50 seconds remaining. They need to start bringing this game back into their terms. They need to actually gain some ground here. But Ascent are just not giving them anything. As soon as they get a point, players get taken down. Warrior does manage to get 1 kill. Is he going to be able to get another one over onto the scout now? He's firing stickies and pipes all over the place. Needs to reload, but it looks like they are going to hold on to this point, which, well, TLR, as I said, they need to do it.
Yeah, 12 minutes left. Spawn's now coming in for Ascent. Team not there. They will have that flank covered by Enigma, and War now just coming through that garage area, and Ascent very defensive, allowing War to come there through their uncontested sticking off the medic. Fragile goes down. So Vital there. They should be able to take this third point relatively easy now, but Podolski unmonitored coming around the left-hand side. Will he get stickies onto
Enigma on the medic.
Serotonin taken down by Shrugger and Enigma as well. And Nico comes in, but it's too little too late. And it's a wipe from Ascent, but only 2 players up from TLR. And Vital kill on Serotonin in the end as well, Arx.
Yeah, it was just out deathmatch there. It was a very aggressive play. They did manage to get in. Scouts again doing so much work, but it was that initial demo man jump which helped them out here. As they have managed to capture this midpoint, sorry. As well, it looks like Ascent sending players in. They want to take this back as soon as they can, and they've got the numbers to do it. Is anybody sneaking through behind? It does look like we do have a scout over onto the back cap now, but is he going to be able to cap this in time? Herpy is sitting there. Is anybody going to get back in time to stop this? I don't think they're going to be able to.
No, they're
certainly
not.
Nobody on the midpoint. Chasing. Is there anybody on the last? I can't see anyone there. Herpy going through to the last point. Can anyone make it back? Scout is there.
Herpy.
And no, Herpy with a great foresight and great play to take 1 round back in TLR's favor.
And a 5-kill streak to top it all off, Arx.
Yep, just gloss over that.
So let's follow War's rollout this time. As you expect to be flawless. Does bump at the top there, but see where he goes, favouring the lower left-hand corner this time. Obviously trying to get some stickies onto that balcony area. Very uncontested in that med pack. Again, scouts from the Ascent team seem relatively slow. Both going up top, favouring that up top approach with those pistols. I think that is the done thing these days. And again, jumping soldiers from TLR, not becoming effective. And Ward's very isolated. Nico gets taken down on the flank. Alpha trying to do his best, keeping that spam away. But what is Rando doing coming on the right-hand side? And he's up and behind the soldiers. Alpha craters in the end. And, oh, blimey, AMS coming in to take down Rando, to my surprise, when they're very weak. Are they going to push through to yard ups?
Yeah, TLR just didn't have the positioning, and Ascent capitalizing on that. They are chasing them down there. Massive pipe there from War, taking down Shrugger and Enigma, and that puts it in favor of a 3-2. They haven't put any time on this midpoint yet, so they're surely going to have to fall out of even the midpoint. TLR surely know this and are moving through with their player advantage, but Soldier and Medic trying to hold ground there. Mela does get taken down. Medic's forced to Uber. That's going to put an Uber advantage solidly in TLR's favor. And, well, that has to be the mid-fight one.
Yeah, so I was going to say for a second, so 10-minute warning gone, 10 minutes, 2-1 the score. This is teamfortress.tv with Arx Beta bringing in your TLR versus Ascent. This is the first map of best of 3, lower round 4, as we're watching TLR now try and take that yard area. So much spam coming in. AMS up top being uncontested at the moment.
It's just brute force.
It is. It's just they're letting them have it. Of course, with that Uber charge, knowing the score, rather not lose any players, and TLR happy to settle outside, but AMS is in that stairs area, Arx. Has he been called? Yes, he has. Is he going to win that fight off against Rando? Yes, he does. would have been called. I'm surprised no one's come up to meet greet. They've fallen back even further, Arx, gone all the way back to last.
Again, TLR just securing positioning through pure brute force. They're finding an entrance, they're getting in through that entrance, and there's almost nothing that Ascent can do about it. Uber's nearly ready, but no, the Fragile goes down on 95%. Uber's popped. There are the 2 scouts alive, but how long are they going to stay there for? It is a 3v4 at the moment. Ascent dropping like flies. Only Enigma left. He's got good health, but it's not going to be enough. TLR bringing it back to 2-2. We have a game with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
TLR then just amazing. Fragile so unlucky, so close to Uber. I think it was about 95% Arx.
Yep, 95.
Taken down, and well, 2-2, just over 8 minutes left. Are we going to see a golden cap of Granny, which I haven't seen in a while? And it's been a while since I've seen a low-scoring game on Granary as well. But here we go. Let's follow Nico onto that point this time. Just up top, Pistol trying to slow down any jumpers. Meet and greet Enigma up top. Podolski taken down immediately by AMS, and Nico comes onto Fragile. Fragile's taken down as well. So TLR, it's a 5-on-3, 5-on-4 now, 5-on-1 now, and finally Enigma is the only one remaining for Ascent who's on 61 HP, and TLR taking that 3rd point.
Saves the wipe for at least for now, but TLR carrying all of the momentum through. They've secured two great rounds so far just by brute forcing these points, but this time they've got that solid advantage. Enigma does take down War. That is kind of crucial there, but does go down himself. That might delay the push. They still have time to wait for War to get spawns, and well, they'll have to wait for Nico as well there as Shrugger takes down Herpy, and in fact they're down to 3 players. I'm wondering if Ascent are going to try and at least get in and force this Uber. Soldier might have to pop, but no, they've managed to hold on to it, which is a great play, and with the forward spawns, it's not actually going to be much of a loss. Yeah,
obviously just happy to fall back out into that yard area, see if they can stop that recapture. Forward spawn, so TLR back up to full strength. Ascent, a little bit more aggressive this time, doors wide open. Uber has been popped though, Uber has been popped. And let's see if anyone can make the most of it. AMS is on to Fragile, but Marley taking care of AMS. Podolski all isolated on that point with a loose cannon, but the scout of Enigma and Sugar come in to take care of them, but it's a 6-on-3. Surely Ascent need to come in. War's taken down as well, 6-on-2. They need to come in before that spawn wave, Arx.
I don't really agree with War's play there.
Nah, sorry, I was watching Nico if he went for the back cup up top, but it was taken care of by Rando. It was called, and
War jumped in there onto the last point to try and force the medic, or at least take him down is the ideal goal. But we'll have to have a look now, as we've got a sneaky bit of a spy play from Alpha now, who is let's follow and see where he's going.
Coming up with Fragile, hasn't been called. Enigma just looked at him. It has been taken care of. Oh no! Wow, he surprised me there. I wasn't sure if he was going to get away with that. Alpha, though, the only problem is now denying his team of a soldier, and they probably need that spam in this next the entrance into yard. They could do with that soldier spam there. Still hasn't been called. It seems to be going on forever. We stick with him. We stick with him. It's going to happen. I can sense it. It's going to happen. Here we go. And Ascent actually falling back, looking for that spy. Oh!
This is going to be a massive letdown if he doesn't get this medic. He was inches away, but just the noise of the decloak there would have given it away. He needs to, well, get it needs to be a more difficult situation. That's a bit anticlimactic.
Well, it did the job, Arx. It did the job. Ascent completely slowed down. They lost track of their Uber advantage, and now,
I guess.
Yeah, and Podolski a little bit isolated versus Nico. A scout comes in to help him in the Z there. Uber has been bopped by both teams. No real advantage for either. Let's just see where Ascent want to go with. They are walking straight towards that second
Medic
CP.
might be in trouble going through this door. Takes one big hit, but Soldier takes one for him instead, as War does go down. Nico taking down Podolski. Are they going to be able to get any more? In fact, a lot of players are pushing, chasing one scout over towards mid, and he is probably going to get...
Yeah, Herpy comes into block Arx. Soldier behind of Marley. Still up top, on behind. It's going to turn and some of the TLR heads around. But again, around over there as well. Fragile taken care of by Nico. But again, counter kill by Marley onto Serotonin. He was completely uncontested at the back there. Not sure why it happened, so we're left with a 3-on-2 situation.
2-on-2.
Second CP 2-on-2. It's Enigma and Podolski. Alpha about 90 HP. They're not. They don't fancy it. They don't fancy it. Wow, that's
looks like we're in radio.
The stream's gone down. We're back to radio casting, and nothing much going on at the moment. So TLR have set up for the defense. Ascent just waiting for their the counter push. Of course, Uber's about 10% different between each, and nothing really going on at the moment, Arx, and the pitfalls of Granary and the pitfalls of live streaming.
To be honest, it's perfect timing for our stream issues here because the teams are just building their Uber. There's currently all players alive. One soldier did come around the back, and that's Rando, who does get taken down.
Enigma running spy now, by the way.
Also taken down. Oh, well, that's fine if we see a spy play that's not going to amount to anything again. But we'll see if this is actually going to make a play. He has got in behind them at the moment. He's sitting just in front of the respawn doors. A couple of pipes do come in, and he's been spotted and taken down. So again, you're not really missing anything at this moment. TLR are holding on their last. It is 2-2 and 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Yeah,
3 minutes, as Arx alluded to. So 2-2 the score. We are back with the stream. As we said, you didn't miss anything. So Alpha now running sniper with that AWP, of course. Probably need someone to come and open that door. Let's see if he gets a pick onto someone. Going up to full percentage now. Not being distracted. As, of course, we can see with blue's great plugin, we can see through the walls, and like I can at home. But I can't see anything just yet. Alpha just trying to peep round to that stairs area. Fragile currently sitting up top. Loose cannon coming through. Doesn't be called. Oh, has the opportunity to get a shot onto Podolski. If it doesn't take it, and again, all stalemate Arx, that time ticking away. Neither team wanting to lose this now. This is pivotal time. If you lose this point, though we see it happen on Granary, we can see 30 seconds, 40 second rounds. Neither team really wants to commit, do they?
No, that's it. There is a sniper. I can't see TLR wanting to try and push this out. If they push this out, then, well, they pretty much lose the round and possibly the game.
Alpha still there.
Alpha is trying desperately to get a shot through that door. Demonman's going quite close to him. Podolski does go down, but Rando at the same time, that may prompt the pushes. Now it's a 6v4. Is there anybody waiting to try and get round behind? We'll have to see.
Serotonin actually, Arx, weak, got a couple of hits on him from Rando, so he fell back. Did enough Ascent, stop that push, and they all piled up top, waiting for. Wow, did TLR think they've fallen out? Maybe they do. They pop their Uber and they've come in behind him. Counter Uber comes in. Has anyone got behind? It's Enigma that's got behind. It's Enigma that's got behind. AMS falls back to block him, and Enigma's taken care of. But Ascent holding on to that point. They're coming in, Arx. Ascent know they're in trouble. It's 4 versus 2 now. It's Wall versus Serotonin. It's not getting the hills. It's going to be Ascent that takes it. 3-2 the score with just over 1 minute and 30 seconds left, Arx. Surely they didn't think they fell out of the point.
Well, they secured the position, but that was great play from Enigma. He got Ubered through the top, so nobody could stop him getting behind. And that just dragged half of the fighting force back to last, which gave them a clear number advantage. As we do see players now making their way to this midpoint, TLR have to act fast here. Ascent trying to slow the game down a little bit. We'll see if TLR do put some aggression on his soldiers, do make their way up on top of the crate. Scout takes a bit of damage. Here comes in the jumping soldier onto the crates. Does manage to take down Rando as Podolski goes down to Warhayer as well. TLR, this is the reaction they needed. Are they going to be able to get any more kills here? They've got 2 and the midpoint, but Nico, is there any more?
Nico taking care of Enigma Arx. Nico, one of those French sponges that never dies online, seems to be performing on LAN at the moment.
Yep, we've certainly all had our issues with those. As TLR making their way forward now. There are, I swear I saw players behind them, but actually, no, there's not. Still 49 seconds. Uber's already been forced. Ascent popping their Uber, and they're not going to get too much done with this, as now counter Uber is popped. Players coming to the point. TLR, it's all or nothing at this point. 40 seconds left. They are dropping numbers. No, 3v3, 2v3. Ascent are looking like they are going to hold on here.
Where's Alpha?
Just Alpha remaining.
In the window. He knows they're quite weak.
He's got to do it all here, but he doesn't do enough. 25 seconds remaining. It is going to be a wild charge to see if they can get it, and I don't think there's enough time.
It's only going to be Nico that gets there in time, and it's going to be Nico versus 4. I know what I said earlier. We're not online anymore, Nico. It doesn't work.
Oh, only 11 seconds left. It's probably not going to happen here. Great hold by Ascent there, especially with the deficit. Soldier jumping in. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. AMS gets taken down. In comes a Pyro and Medic, knowing they're not going to be able to do anything else. And Ascent taking the first map 3-2 in what was a nail-biter.
There we go. So first map going in Ascent's favour of this best of 3. We have, I believe it's Badlands coming up, Arx. So we've got Badlands coming up at the break. Let's see if we can get some of those damage stats online. Once I get the log from someone, I'll let Arx do it. He can find the log as we just wait. So if you have just joined us, you've missed Ascent. 3-2 the score on Granary versus TLR. This is lower round 4. Loser of this best of 3 actually is out of the competition.
I made it work.
Great. So Arx should have the stats now on screen, and if you click the columns, Arx and certain damage, and surprise, surprise, as we've seen throughout the tournament, Banny, top damage, 10k. No, that's the wrong game.
Wrong game.
What game have you got on, guys? What link
no
have you
idea.
given him? The pitfalls of live
It's
casting.
right on the stream anyway.
We've got the right one on stream. I'm not sure what one Arx has in front of him. So let's have a look. Top damage. I know it's a little bit more difficult to see on screen. As someone changed their name as well, you can see. So let's have a guess. Should we say it was Rando? Should we say it was Rando? Depends. Are we having problems getting the right log on screen?
We've got it on the stream, just not on my screen, so we'll talk via the stream here.
So who do you think the top soldier is? Because, well, we've...
That's Mela.
Mela? Yeah, fine. I can hardly see it myself.
Or Marla, as you've been pronouncing.
I've been saying Marlia because,
Marley.
well, don't ask me why, it just sounds
right,
better.
Bob.
It's like country Marlia.
But yeah, great damage from them. I'm actually a bit surprised because Herpy was going huge on the number of kills. Did manage to secure 25 as scout. But yeah, soldiers coming in with a lot of damage there from Ascent.
Winner of the Scout Battle Arx was, in fact, Nico. Nico just coming out slightly on top. Oh, in fact, no, Herpy, apologies. Just slightly beating him. So the TLR Scout's doing slightly more damage than the Ascent guys. But again, it seemed that Ascent just won more battles, if you understand me. They just seemed to be more damage together as a team and got more of the TLR players down at vital points. That last push especially, they just didn't seem to get any of the players down.
I think that's it. I mean, TLR, they were really good, actually, of just gaining ground for free. But when it came to an all-out death match, they just seemed to lose those fights. And it was the ones that counted. I think TLR held in there. And, I mean, how's this going to look in a more open map such as Badlands or Snakewater? Looking at this, if you favour Ascent in the deathmatch terms, then surely we might see a more one-sided scoreline. True,
potentially. I guess it's. I mean, if you think about it kills-wise, I'm quickly just summarising in my head. In fact, TLR have slightly more kills, but again, it's obviously heals percentage damage and so on makes it
trying to do
equal.
maths on air, are you?
No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I guess would you? Well. Given that what we spoke about earlier, saying TLR held Froyotech to everyone's surprise, but then were in turn knocked down to the lower bracket by Nerd Rage.
Yep.
Would you have expected TLR to have taken that granary?
You probably would, you know. I think
Why
actually Ascent have really stepped up to this one. We did say beforehand that TLR looked the favourites, at least in our eyes, to try and take this game. But I guess the style of map may have gone against them.
Well, yeah, we did say granary, very deathmatch heavy. Though there is a couple of flanks, it's not a true wide map like I was saying, like Badlands and Process, where you know, huge wide flanks where you can get round, and necessarily there's quite a few choke points, in fact, on granary. So, of course, just to name a few. So, outside the yard into second CP, and of course that stairs area, you need to get through those choke points to do anything. And it's again the same when you approach the third CP. Badlands, on the other hand, completely open mid. You can come from a number of directions. You've got the window, we've got the far left lower area as well, under the bridge. And Arx, given that we just saw granary, you're saying that you favoured Ascent on the deathmatch wise, as someone tries to ring my phone. Who would you put your money on now?
I kind of want to go with TLR here at the moment, and the reason why I want to go with TLR is because I was really impressed with their scout play. Now I know that you might see that Scout's probably the biggest deathmatch classes, and if Ascent are better at the deathmatch. But I think Ascent were really good at the team fights as a whole. But the individual Scout play, I think, might just be able to swing it for TLR, and they might be able to come in and take this map.
Well, we're going to see second map coming up, of course. Best of 3. If you have just joined us, this is teamfortress.tv's Arx Beta bringing you lower round for I55 events. TLR versus Ascent. This is going to be the second map. First map going in favour of Ascent. 3-2 the score. If you don't like spoilers, I've already spoiled it.
Yeah. Well, oh well.
So I guess so. Arx, did you actually answer my question fully?
Which one?
Who do you favour? Who do you favour?
I said that TLR. I said
it's actually TLR.
I think I don't know if I'm just rooting for the underdogs here, or if that's who I want to win to try and bring it back. But I think the scout play of TLR was really impressive during that game, and I think that might be enough to swing it in their favour. Even though I think Ascent have got the better team deathmatch as a whole. When in the 6v6 fights, Ascent seemed to win them, but when it got a bit messy, that's when the TLR scouts came into play.
And I guess given that TLR, as we alluded to, sort of a quickly formed team in a way, so new demo man, Alpha coming in to help out as well. I think that's, as we was alluding to earlier as well, they're surprising so far. They're doing quite well. Some would have said, would have written them off a while ago. And would you say they have overperformed so far? Tough question.
It is a difficult one because I think they think they are performing now to their level. If they get through, that's where they would think they would be. But I think the community as a whole probably thought this is about where they would be. I don't know, this tournament's just so competitive. Any team at this point can still win it. And they're taking games and maps off of each other. The favorites are being knocked down to the lower brackets really early on. And it's just a crazy tournament. You can't put money on it.
Yeah, so the winner of this, by the way, will go on to play the winner of Reason versus Saints. Currently, if you don't want to know the score, look away now. Reason taking that first map 1-0 versus Saints. So no surprises there, Arx. And looking like, as it stands at the moment, it's going to be another European versus US fight-off in that lower round 5 before our lower final. Well, the consolation final, which will be tomorrow. So we have, after this set of brackets, we have one more set of matches. And then tomorrow we have our lower final. And the grand final, of course, brought to you by the great combo of Dix and Sideshow.
Should be a great game. So it does look like we will be going for a short break now. The game will be resuming shortly. And, well, we'll see you guys very soon.
See you very shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back with Team Fortress TV. Lower round 4 of Multiplay's i55 event. We are watching Ascent versus TLR coming up, so this is going to be the second map, first map going in favor of Ascent. 3-2 the score, and that was Granary and Arx. We are already live on Badlands, so here we go, Arx. This is Team Fortress TV's Arx Beta bringing you lower round 4 of i55. It's going to be TLR versus Ascent, and Arx run us through to that first mid.
As we're following, Badonsky now fires one sticky over to the balcony. He's trying to hit the demo man. That one was short, though, as they are making their way into the point. Everybody else catching up here. A little bit of time coming in from the scouts on the point, but it does look like Ascent are in trouble. Aggressive soldiers jump in. Rando does manage to, well, take down Herpy, kind of. As
Fragile in trouble. Wow, blimey, Shrugger takes care of Alpha with the help of the bow as well, and apologies interrupting Arx, and TLR losing 3 players. Have TLR even reset yet? That seemed really messy mid.
That certainly did. It seemed like they got some positioning and then just surrendered everything when Ascent just turned up the aggression. As now Demoman and Medic are trying to hold the front lobby here. A couple of stickies just waiting up there, but we'll have to see now as they are forced back onto their last. They do have their Uber advantage, so there is some hope for the defense.
Melee coming in that right corner. Alpha take care of him as well. Uber is in. Uber is in. Again, TLR holding on long enough. Serotonin, Marley gonna get caught there. Yes, he does. And so TLR holding on to their first, well, the first time they're gonna hold on to their last in this round, as of course Ascent recycle Arx and looking fragile. Oh, Scout in behind, taken care of by Enigma there. Luckily, Fragile was very weak.
TLR did a really good job holding there. They only had 4 players alive when the push came in. We did have Herpes spawning as they came in, but I think Ascent gave that up a bit too easily. Yeah. They had the numbers advantage, and they did opt to back out, and they further casualties after that.
Yeah, in fact, Ascent have fallen back all the way out of upper lobby. I would have expected them to hold on to there. Only thought is that Fragile being weak probably fell back. Just seeing as they now try and come through that main area, Enigma just with that pistol trying to get those stickies off the point, potentially just going to run on point and allow everyone to try and jump down and block. And of course the stickies from Badonsky would come in, but that's pretty low level play. As we now see them coming in the lower right hand corner, it's both Rando and Marley coming in there, just spams back out with Rando very weak, and again Ascent don't want to fully commit Arx, happy to take their time as War gets Enigma, just unlucky on Enigma there as he come around the corner. And is he trying to creep out? Wow, they know where they are, and in fact Ascent have fallen back to that balcony area, Arx. Again, they're giving them upper lobby again.
I think so. I mean, it's probably an easier position to attack the upper lobby rather than going straight onto the last point. But, I mean, there are a few narrow chokes. But if you're talking Uber versus Uber, I think it might be easier. Having said that, TLR, it does give them an option of retreat. Once the Ubers are popped, if they're stuck on their last, they've got nowhere else to go apart from the respawn. But if they're out in the lobby, they've got some room to move back. As Scout comes in, Shrugger manages to finish off Warha. Yeah, well, that's a demo down. That's quite a big kill.
Yeah, demo for Scout. Great trade. And Ascent looking like they fancy it now.
No
stick is on point. It's 5-on-4 at the moment. Pyro coming out. Herpy, is it going to be too late? Doesn't get in position. Uber has been popped by TLR.
They're not moving in.
Now Serotonin trying to move forward, but Rando coming around the back gets taken care of. TLR looking like they might hold on, but Podolski pretty much uncontested. Finally taking care of some scout battles going on in the background, and TLR cleaning up Ascent.
Mailer there was in such a good position. If his team followed him to move into the point, he got so much free room. And I feel they would have taken that last point, but instead, TLR managing to get that push out, and it's a very important push because, well, it's quite a difficult thing to retake that Spire, as Rando does get taken down. Alfred taking credit for that one.
Well, are they going to push? Maybe TLR fancy the push before the Rando gets there? I mean, that's what I would think. Yeah, and the soldier down from Ascent. That spam, a little bit less spam, but they don't fancy it at the moment. Uber is in favour of TLR. I wonder if they know that, and here they come. AMS going soldier versus soldier in a train. Marley coming round behind. Marley has got behind.
Sorry, had to. Yeah, so as we got TLR here, do manage to take this midpoint as soldier jumping around from the spawn here. Just having a look at AMS now, trying to get some damage in, but he's not managing to do too much at the moment. Wow, Rando gets in and forces the Uber charge. That's prompting the push from TLR as Demoman jumps around to the choke, trying to get some damage down. Is the Scout going to shut him down? He indeed does. That's an Enigma up on the Spire, and TLR, the push isn't working for them.
Yeah, TLR needs to be careful not to overextend here. Alpha did the right thing, fell back into the house area on that third CP. Has he been called? Oh, in behind, forces that Uber from Fragile. He's going to escape as well. Is he going to go for the back cap? I was going to say, I'm surprised he didn't go for the back cap there. 3 players down for TLR. Alpha still on his own. Will he draw some players back? Needs to do a good job on baiting some people back. And they have left him, Arx. It hasn't worked. Alpha all alone on that second CP house. And that's a player down for TLR.
He's going to be annoying behind, but he's out of the fight at the moment. And, I mean, they're going to be conscious that he is behind them, which could play into something, but it means that he's not there for defense. He's just messing around the house, but I feel that having that one player down is just allowing Ascent to get so much free ground here. Having said that, Nico does manage to take down Shrugger, and Enigma also going down.
Alpha chasing Fragile. Alpha still chasing, so weak, does take care of him. Mail is so weak as well, but does take care of Alpha, and does that mean TLR? No, not enough players there. It's still a 4-on-2, just a spawn coming in. War in trouble, but gets help from Herpy and Nico. Podolski trying to come in and help out as well. It's actually just Herpy versus Podolski at the moment, and Herpy decides to stay alive, live another day, fight another day, and falls back to the second CP and waits for another reset. And after all that, TLR are going to have a slight Uber advantage, Arx. We're talking 10%.
Yeah, I mean, assuming both teams do build it at the same rate, it's going to probably amount to nothing. But Scout has managed to get through the choke point. Herpy there dealing a lot of damage. He's on his own against 3 players. That took way too long to take him down, but that is 2 players down. Scout and Demoman, surely that's going to prompt TLR to make some sort of push onto mid. And
for Nico as well.
Ascent do look like they are falling back. At least to surrender some this time. Enigma also going down, so only 3 players remaining. Surely the only thing they can do at this point is well, try and send somebody into bomb, but they can't really afford to lose that player right now. Surrendering the point, and, well, still 0-0.
Nico still running sniper at the moment, coming for the choke point area. Misses the shot on the Fragile, very, very close. And, well, Nico just forcing the descent all the way back out of the balcony area. And are they going to capture Spire, Arx? It looks like TLR are going to do it. Now seeing Nico trying to get some shots off, but Ascent saying, hold on a minute, and Mela coming back onto the Spire and blocking.
As, now, are they going to be able to get through this choke point? Soldier just getting bounced back. They desperately want to get up there, but they just need some overheal. Now, as they have opted to fall back to the midpoint. Are Ascent going to be the ones who are going to turn up the aggression here? They're at a massive Uber deficit. Only just started building now, so that's a 60% disadvantage that they've got here, and they are falling back to the balcony. Is this going to be more free ground for TLR? Soldier jumps up onto the Spire. Is anybody going to go up there? Oh, wow. Rando does get taken down. Alpha and Nico still on sniper.
Enigma bought him back. Yeah, Enigma brought him back on the back cap and still being chased by Nico. So Scout behind a TLR at the moment. Nico running Sniper still, so only one Scout just, of course, for their flank. Let's switch it back up to Nico. Let's see if he can get the pick. Coming through, choke uncontested. No rockets at all there. People not spam that point anymore as well as stickies.
Well,
but,
it's just how far back they are. I mean, they did have a couple of stickies on the wall, which they would have killed him if he had detonated them at the right time. But well, we'll just see now.
Nico coming around again, so Fragile on the Ascent team defending from the trash area. Rando currently sitting inside just that front spawn, making sure no one comes through on the flank. And Fragile a little bit more brave this time, Arx. Not too concerned coming around out of the trash area, and Ascent now coming up to meet and greet. A little bit of stalemate. We still have 21 minutes remaining and still 0-0. This is the second map, a best of 3. And TLR, I thought they were going to fancy it, and no, they've all reset again, Arx.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that's kind of TLR's mistake, really, because they've given us time to get that Uber back. But Nico does take down Enigma over on the
front spawn.
Yeah, front spawn there. So that is one player, and that's for the attacking team of TLR. Will that prompt them to go through? They still have to make their way through the choke point. Soldiers jumped aggressively round over onto the medic. Ubers are forced for both teams. As now Red Medic of Ascent having to switch to the demo man. Surely theirs is going to run out first, but it does look like TLR backed out and surrendered that choke point advantage they gained. But jumping back in now gets a massive rocket over onto Scout. A couple of shotgun shots. In comes a Scout of Herbie just to finish off Shrugger there as Soldier is jumping around over onto the medic. Does take him down. That's Serotonin. They're down, but, well, all things considered, TLR have the numbers outside. They have the positioning, and they are going to take this Spire. Yeah,
it's only demo of Podolski on isolated on his own on that big med pack as well. So TLR in the ascendancy, 4-on-2, pushing onto that final point. Enigma doing the secret, trying to hide around the corner. It's going to be 1-0 to TLR. So there we have it, 10-minute round there, Arx, on Badlands. And great start by TLR after that disastrous first mid-fight. Can TLR turn it around in the second round mid-fight? We will see. And Tomic, top damage dealer, by the way. All TLR players, and Podolski just in that third final place.
Yeah, that's it. They were also right up there with the kills. As we do go on to round 2 mid-fight here, can TLR perform better on this mid than they did previously? Ascent now jumping in. They look like the ones who have got the position here. Nico gets taken down quite early in the fight as the rest of the team still playing very conservatively. Is this Ascent's time to shine now? Scout is causing them all sorts of problems, allowing the team to get positioning. As Herpy again takes down Podolski over underneath the bridge there. But TLR, they are the ones who've got control of this midpoint, and Ascent having to fall back.
Yeah, Ascent losing too many damage dealers. The Soldier and the Demo Man both gone. Enigma on the flank went down as well. Recapturing that third point. Most importantly, Fragile getting out again and seems to try. Are they going to try and defend from trash? No, they're not. Just preferring upper lobby, sending Mailer forward. Mailer's going to go up to block. It's going to be Mailer versus War, but Nico coming into the rescue, and surely Mailer's going to go down, and Uber comes in. Uber has been popped from Fragile, holding that second point. Good choice, but Serotonin.
Nico's on last.
So late. Nico's gone to last.
Yeah, one Soldier versus Nico. Is anybody else going to come back and try and do this? It doesn't look like he's going for it. He's sort of faking it around. He can still get it if he gets in time, but 3 players been drawn back. Does get some pot shots over on the medic. Whoa! Serotonin just jumping in there. Does get over onto the point, and they do manage to take another round. 2-0, much quicker that time.
Yeah, so we had a first round 10 minutes, that round 1 minute and 30 seconds. So showing the true speed of what Badlands can be. So TLR 2-0 up. They will need to win this map to take us to a third and final map and, of course, stay in the tournament. Let's this time follow Podolski's rollout coming up through that balcony window. The mirror of War there just following there. Does want to go up too aggressive into that house.
Oh,
on the top right.
medic.
Alpha on the right. Takes down Fragile, and it's going to be Alpha versus Podolski, and they do trade, but it's a Soldier for Demo Man and Medic. Still left with a 3-on-3 on this mid-fight. It's going to be the Scout, the Demo Man, and Warp. Oh, Serotonin taken down by Mailer, and Nico still there to clean up. Can he take care of Rando? And that's a wipe for Ascent team on that third mid-fight, and TLR turned it around after that first round, Arx.
Yeah, they've come out on top again in this. I mean, the first round was a bit tragic for them on the mid-fight, but they are the ones in control of this game at the moment, and Ascent really need to do something. They need a round on the board, I feel, to just bring up their confidence and get them back into this game now. But with their Demo Man taking a lot of damage, Podolski only on 22 health left. Nico now just circling underneath, and wow, we also have Alpha as Sniper just trying to get some shots on a Soldier that jumped up. He's missed a couple now, hasn't managed to get anything, and I think that's enough to, well, force TLR back into the mid-fight.
Yeah, it does come out with a shot and sugar in the end. Mela, current aggressive, misses it. Huge air shot onto the soldier of Rando there. He's so weak, 18 HP, has to fall back, no choice. Will he escape though? Still fighting against Herpy. Herpy takes care of Enigma's surely going to get caught as well. So Ascent now lost 3 players trying to push through that choke point, and TLR surely going to come through, and are they going to come from behind?
Check
Mela
out
comes
Ascendo
in
coming round.
onto Serotonin, takes him down. Uber is popped at the same time. TLR in huge trouble. Alpha goes down as well. Nico isolated. How is he still alive? And TLR losing players all over the shop. It's going to be AMS remaining, taken down, and finally, that's a wipe from TLR. The first time we've seen that on this map Arx.
Great play from Pocket and Med there. Just check your flanks if you're coming through. They hit in the doorway. Great jump round, and well, Medic getting taken down. As now Ascent get that momentum they need. They have taken mid reasonably easy, but we do have a spy of Alpha currently sitting around to see if he can prevent this push coming in. He needs to act quickly here. Medic does have his back to him, but is he going to be able to get in? They are losing a couple of players. War going down, and Enigma.
Hasn't been called. Arx, he's still there, still sitting under Spire, so they lost
Medic's
3 players.
Isolated. Is he going to be able to take him down, or is this going to be another anticlimactic spy play? We will see. But it looks like, I think he's going to be too late. I think they're going to just get through and Uber, and the spy play's gone. Unless he can do something magical on the players on the point. Demo's already sticking it off, and the spy player again amounts to nothing. Ascent getting that crucial round that they needed to try and take this map.
So there we go. So Ascent do get that round. Arx spoke about on the board. 2-1 the score, 15 minutes remaining. Of course, as you would expect, all the damage dominated by Ascent, that top 3 there, with War just slightly behind. Let's follow this rollout this time, Arx, and Ascent favouring that valley area coming up top. AMS going up onto the train. Let's see if AMS does fancy a little jump onto the point. Serotonin out the back there needs to get away from that flying soldier, but Badonsky and Rando both go down. Good trade there for TLR, and surely that'll prompt them back into push onto the point, Arx.
Great shotgun there from AMS. They are pushing through now. Ascent do have the positioning, but do they have the health to contest this? I think they probably do. Taking that midpoint, are they going to continue or wait for their respawners? They're currently a soldier and demo man down, so it's going to be very much an open deathmatch. They've gone in just with a soldier and medic against 4 players here. That seemed like a bit of a waste to me. They didn't really accomplish too much, and well, now Demo Man of War trying to get some more damage into the midpoint, but again, it's not really going to amount to much.
Is that Enigma behind him at the moment? Am I watching Enigma behind? He is. He's on their front spawn. Oh, no. No. Apologies. Yeah, he was behind them, but he's come back out through house. Yeah, so nothing came of that. Just see if anyone's running interesting stats at the moment. So a little bit of downtime. Let's talk about the Uber percentages. Exactly the same. War maybe a little bit isolated. Does want to get caught there. Most of the Ascent players stacked into that house area. Arx, we've seen it we saw it earlier, and well, let's hear to the some of the team commentary as they deal with this push through house. Can we switch to the team commentary?
Am I coming with this or no?
No. Get a pick. Come on.
All right, Matt and I are going to try to get a pick on flank.
Jump. They see our heels aren't at show. Scalp 50.
I'm here.
Soldiers are close.
Soldier dead.
Kill the score. Did you get out, Mela?
Yeah, I'm out. It's a close choke here. I think they're coming in mid. They're coming in mid.
Yeah, so Uber has been popped. Uber has been popped there, and we listen to Ascent panicking there as they come through uncontested, but dealing with them very quickly. Now they have a huge Uber advantage as they come through the house onto the valley area, onto the bridge area. And Nico's in trouble, taken care of, so one of the scouts down. And War taken down as well, so huge damage here of War taking down. Shrugger has actually got into behind onto Serotonin. Has been caught at the moment. Shrugger onto Serotonin, taken down. 2v1 on the scouts as well, but Alpha comes with a huge shot on Shrugger, but he still needs to get back. They haven't captured that 4th CP. Alpha AMS is still there to defend, but it's only going to be AMS, but 2-on-2 remaining, so Ascent not going to push through, or are they? No, AMS taking care of, doing the job on Mela as they walked through Arx. I thought for a second Ascent were going to follow through. After that messy sort of play, a lot of death matching going on, we are left with Uber percentages roughly the same. TLR defending really aggressively. He says that as they fall back out of the lobby.
Caster's curse there. So 12 minutes remaining, only 1 round in it at the moment. Ascent, well, TLR are the ones who need this map. Ascent obviously taking the first map. I'm right in that, aren't I?
Yeah, you are right in that.
mind blank, just double checking. The TLR need this to bring it to a 3rd map, and they're currently in a good position at least to...
Enigma's
they're a round up.
Enigma's in on the point.
Oh, sneaky! Enigma just walking through onto the point, and miscommunication there. People not watching their designated locations.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what the TLR comms were at that point. But we're probably a little bit late. They'll probably concentrate on that mid-fight now because I wouldn't have been a very happy chappy. So let's follow Badonsky again onto this mid-fight, preferring the main entrance out of house this time. War trying to stick him off, and War going back for the med pack. Does eat a sticky, but there's a scout very, very close to him as well as he peeks out here. Not sure. He's forced all the way back. Rando taking down some both soldiers. Badonsky is taken care of in the end. Nico doing a great job coming up with 2 kills on Enigma and Badonsky. Is he going to take care of Shrugger as well? Yes, he does. 3k for Nico on this mid-fight. Mela coming in behind. It's only going to be Mela left for the Ascent team. 5 players down, and TLR, Serotonin surfing away from Mela, gets away. Only just great play on 60 HP, but they're going to take that Spire Arx with, what, just over 10 minutes left. This is 2-2 the score. TLR do need to win this map or they are going home.
That's it. So they do have the advantage here. They're the ones who are going to be pushing 100% Uber versus 10. They need to make this count, and they're opting to go through that bottom right entrance. Any casualties on entrance? Demoman gets a lot of distance in there. He's sticking off the point, but we'll have to see if... or are they going to be able to get players on the point here? They haven't done much with their Uber. This is a great defense from Ascent. TLR trying to get up through. The Fragile does go down, but at this point it was almost irrelevant. 2 players come in, and they do manage to get onto the point. TLR bringing it back to a 1-cap lead.
For a second then, I thought TLR weren't going to do anything. I
I
thought they weren't getting enough kills. I was going to say great defense. So they had Pyro and SG. So anything that came up towards the SG, Pyro was sitting away. Yep. So I thought it wasn't going to work. But so we are on round number 6. 3-2 the score in favour of TLR. 10 minutes left remaining. So another very, very fast round. Just watching where Alpha's going at the moment. It got in behind onto Badonsky. Who's going to pick? Badonsky
is the target.
And now he's going to get onto Fragile as well. Fragile's taken care of by Nico, and Ascent in big trouble here. 2 players down, but they come up with a huge kill.
Mela.
But Mela onto Serotonin. Will they delay it? But just misses the air shot. Oh, almost a wipe from Ascent, and only Enigma left. In fact, commentators cursed. Is it going to be a wipe? Enigma on his own. Enigma versus Herpy. Who's going to win it? And, well, there we go. Finally, War coming in to help out. And technically a wipe Arx because they fell out very quickly. And momentum back in TLR's favour.
Unofficial
look where War is. Look where War is. He's already there.
Oh, and he's got him as well. Soldier's in a lot of trouble there. Does manage to take him down. That's going to be 1 player who's not going to be spawning for another 11 seconds. There is no Uber charge, so it would be a bit risky to push in off of that. But how much the TLR won it? It looks like... Nah, they're just going to build up that Uber charge and see what they can do. Yeah,
I suspect so, Arx. They're going to... How are we? Okay, a little bit out to start thinking about slowing the play down. So TLR just building that charge roughly about the same, 10% in favour of Ascent, actually. Whether they know that. War taken down, and it's prompted Ascent to push Arx. Here they come. Are they going to come out?
2 down.
3 down as well. Ascent surely going to come out, watching that back cap as well. 92% for Serotonin. He has stopped building. Finally rejoins up with his scout.
Check out the sneaky Soldier play coming in through the back right. He snuck through that side entrance. Soldier has seen him. He's used a lot of his health rocket jumping. In fact, way too much of his health rocket jumping to go for last. But that was 1 player, and it kept Rando back on that point as TLR have managed to regain temporarily control of their Spire, but the Uber is coming in. Counter Uber popped. It looks like Ascent may be in trouble. Soldier's jumping over onto the medic. Is he going to go down? AMS does manage to take the Fragile down, but Enigma responds, taking him down. Have they overextended a little bit too much here? No, they haven't. Enigma getting shut down. Soldier now jumping over onto the stone bridge, but a scout is forcing him back to the spawn, and TLR will regain their Spire.
Badonsky opting to defend from that big med pack area outside the trash door. Alpha going up as well, see if he can push back Rando. They will want to take that Spire. Oh, Alpha's caught in fact by Badonsky. Great play, didn't realise he's outside. That'd be pretty low as well. Is that sticky going to reach him? Oh, it does a lot of damage. And Ascent hold on to the Spire Arx. In fact, Ascent have held it, and TLR, 3 players down, they've fallen all the way back, and surely Ascent will push on that, surely.
Yeah, you would like to think so. They do have to be down. They have to be wary of that back cap potential again, but they are sending
Ward's in
players
trouble
through.
as well. Yeah, Ward's taken care of by Nigma and Shrugger Arx just in the background. That's at Wooden Bridge. Just watching Alpha at the moment to see if he's being called as well. Not yet. Probably going to come in behind and wait for Ascent to push through. Surely he isn't going to get onto Fragile from there. And oh, there we go. Scout's called him now. Enigma taken care of. So let's switch away from that. And back cap going on. There is time on point on that third CP. It's Herpy who's been left alone on there. Someone's going to have to go back for him. And
it's a massive
Shrugger
flank.
takes down Serotonin. TLR looking like they were going to lose the fight, but actually it's in fact 4 players down for Ascent. But TLR just don't have the numbers there, Arx, and they're going to take the third CP, but they won't be able to push any further. And Badonsky looking like he was going to come into block.
TLR, they just had players coming up from the valley area, out through the house and also through choke. It was a massive flank. They managed to force the Uber, but it's not going to be enough to take this midpoint of... Oh, Soldier bombs in over onto the medic there, the Fragile, who well, very, very low, but he is going to be able to get in and get that health back again as Rando takes out Nico. Meanwhile, and that's only 2 players alive. Ascent in the ascendancy here.
Yeah, so Ascent actually going to retake that spire very, very quickly. Shrugger and Enigma both on the times. 4 on the point. Full defense from TLR, so we've got Herpy running a Pyro. We're going to see Nico switch to Engineer as well. Is it a little bit too late? Percentage-wise, Ascent, slight advantage, about 30%. It's going to be real time. But whether they know that Arx, bit of a messy, probably lost a little bit track. But Serotonin we did see get taken down by Shrugger, so I expect them. And here they come. Uber has been popped very quickly. Where is that Pyro to block? Pyro is actually sitting at the back. Would have preferred him to be at the front, but he's going to be taken care of. And Rando is coming in the lower right as well. Hasn't been called. Coming up behind
Counter
him.
Uber's ready.
Sticky still on point. Counter Uber coming in, but Rando, yeah, finally Rando is called. And I would have expected Ascent to recycle their Arx given the score, but they haven't. And technically that's a wipe, and it's a spawn wave now that you can see on screen. And only Mela and Fragile who are probably just going to build where they are.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get up to this spire in time to prevent it. TLR definitely have that position outside on the stone bridge, and they'll secure this choke point for now. But yeah, it was a great hold by TLR. We'll have to see how this goes. There's only 5 minutes remaining. TLR do have the advantage, but they are opting to push in, at least send a soldier, see what he can do, and he's managed to pressure them back. Will Ascent come back into the point with a bit of an overheal? A couple of the TLR players are isolated, but Nico does manage to take down Shrugger. It does look like they're actually going to be able to get this midpoint, and that's really bad news for Ascent, who, well, they're 1 point behind.
Yeah, Shrugger went down really early there. It was almost like a one-on-one, and Enigma so weak, had no choice but to fall back out of that valley into that wooden bridge area. It's allowed War to come through the choke. They're fairly uncontested, and in fact, they're coming. They are through, but decide to fall back out. Surprised on that. Oh, because Ascent are coming back through the valley. And Uber has been popped from Ascent. Serotonin holding on much earlier. They're going to have a few seconds, and Ascent do actually have to flash a lot of players there. Going to have a big advantage. Surely Fragile's going to get caught here. He is isolated. Mela gets taken down, but Serotonin gets taken down in the background. In fact, we saw Rando come up top and take care of him. And Ascent looking like they're going to retake that after all. I would have thought TLR would have held that.
That was Mela. Mela turned the eyes around. He jumped over them and just opted for that very quick mid-flank. As soon as people started focusing on Mela, that just allowed the scouts for Ascent to come in and wreak absolute havoc there, as they have managed to secure that mid, and well, they'll be pushing players up onto this spire as a scout does reach it up there. Sniper is being run. Is he going to get any shots? He's peeking now. Scout going, jumping over to pressure him along with a soldier, and he's having to back off there. Does get a little body shot over onto the soldier, and now he's surely in trouble.
Yeah, he's in trouble. So that's 2 players down for TLR as Herpy respawns. Uber percentage-wise, we speak about that a lot because of the vitalness of it. 20% is going to be, again, Herpy deciding to run Pyro. I would expect him to stand up close, but preferring to deflect rockets at the back. And, of course, any pipes or from that stickies that come his way. Given a score, 3 minutes left. 3-2 the score in favour of TLR. TLR, if they do lose this, they will be going home. And Ascent will know that. I expect them to run the time down, Arx, and maybe potentially go for the draw. But that said, Badonsky looking like fancies it, but he's isolated. Nico versus Badonsky. Huge pipe onto him. Nico takes care of him, but Rando, right-hand side as well, takes care of Alpha. AMS finally, Mela actually craters in the end, and Ascent, that push has collapsed. Again, not wanting to come in, force it out and recycle. Any back caps coming on. Shrugger behind the point has been called by Nico. pulled TLR back very briefly, but still going to allow them to get out and recapture Spire. Ascent don't want to give them this, Arx.
Yeah, that's it. And, well, TLR, they've pushed out quite aggressively. Ascent realized that the situation they're in, with only 2 minutes remaining, if they surrender this Spire, they could have real difficulty retaking it again and getting in that time frame. So with 2 minutes left, they have managed to hold on to it. It's a great play from Ascent, and it's all down to them. It's going to come down to this.
Yeah, clever play by TLR, in fact, as well. Not wanting to lose any players on the defensive Spire, giving it to Ascent, and now they have a full team set up for the defense. Uber percentage-wise, 20%, but as is everything with these games, that little bit of instinct, little bit of advantage, you need to use it, and they're coming through, trying to come through that lower right-hand entrance. Alpha gets caught mucking around on the spawn door as well, and Uber has been pulled. Mailer going up top to meet and greet. Pyro comes down to block. It is all or nothing, 1 minute, 30 seconds left. Ascent need to capture this point, or it's going to be in TLR's favour. But right at the moment, Ascent have the
Soldier
numbers.
in. Oh, they've got
Ascent have the
done
numbers, time
it.
of point. Ascent coming through, 3-3 the score. Minute and 20 seconds, so after all that, Arx, Ascent do finally take it, and potential golden cap territory now.
Still 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining. If things go horribly wrong for one of these teams on mid, then it could be something which we are able to take. So we'll have to follow the teams in here now. Is there going to be a sense of urgency? Is anybody going to try and win this game on this round? It does look Ascent making their way forward. Well, we'll have to see now as Soldiers are jumping up now, aggressive from TLR. They're the ones taking the initiative here, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough. 50, 45 seconds, 3 players down for Ascent, and actually there is quite a lot of time left. TLR might be able to capitalize on this. They're leaving 1 scout behind, 2 cap at midpoint. Nobody's going to come and pressure them here. So TLR taking the Spire. They will have their Uber charge ready for a final push. TLR, it's all up to them. Can they take this round and force it? Nico does go down, so that's going to be 1 player down, but still 25 seconds. They haven't capped mid.
Yep, that was actually Enigma coming into block. Probably did enough, I must say. Yeah. Probably did enough. And it's actually a great play by Enigma. Clever play. We have always said he's a very experienced player coming in to help the team out. But 10 seconds left, not enough time now. So we're going to be golden cap for Badlands. Second map of the best of 3, lower round 4. TLR still needing to win this, or we won't be seeing a third map, and they will be going home. So golden cap, Arx, golden cap. I was going to say we should have had a 1 minute of a speed round, by the way.
Yeah. Possibly, yeah.
Well, not now, but right. So again, let's bring the damage up on screen for you. So this has been a second map of best of 3. If you have just joined us, and TLR Ascent 3-3 to score, top damage dealer. Who's the money on Arx?
You know what? I'm not sure. Warha, was firing out some quite a big deal, I think.
Well, it's actually Mailer. Actually did it again. So Mailer, second map in a row. Right, yeah, Mailer, not Marlia, not Bob Marley, whatever else I've called him today. And damage would suggest that it's pretty good spread across both the teams. Years ago, we used to see more of the demo man leading the way, especially certain demo man. But War, 9K, Mailer, what are we on now? Just under 10K. And where do you think the battles were won, Arx? It came down very similar to Granary, that death matching. It seemed that when one team had the advantage, they didn't seem to get the kills.
Yeah, it felt really slow, actually, just the play in general. I think that Ascent could have done better in that. I think they could have actually taken it, but TLR weren't able to hold on to their advantages, weren't able to hold on to their round wins, and ultimately it comes down to a golden cap.
Yeah, it isn't the first time we've seen golden cap on Badlands as the teams take a quick break. I would say that Ascent did the right thing at the end. I would have expected them to go in, force it out, and then recycle and see if they could build quicker. But nevertheless, they seem to do enough and get that final score on the board. 3-3, of course, better than 3-2. Still have a chance of taking this second map and giving them a little bit more rest, and of course stopping them from going home and looking at changing to early flights. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly it is.
So let's have a look at the other matchup in lower round 4, in fact. And I believe the winner was, if you don't want spoilers, stop listening now. It was, in fact, Reason that go through to lower round 5. So it will be the winner of this versus Reason Gaming. And all to play for, really, Arx. Who's your money on now? So you said before that you expected TLR to take that map.
Well, it's golden cap, isn't it?
Well, so who's your money on? Who's your money on?
I have to go with TLR. I want a third map.
Okay, you want a third map?
It's not a local bias or anything. It's very much I want to see these teams on. Is it Snake Water?
Yeah, it is Snake Water. Yeah.
Snake Water, which in my opinion is a bit of a mix of Granary and Badlands in how it plays out. So if TLR do take this, we could have a very close game.
Okay. Well, let's just have a think about it.
How about you? Where's your money?
I'm going to go with, I think...
You think Ascent have got it?
I think if they do well on mid, I'm looking at the screen to make sure they're not starting. If Bob Marley plays well, and which the rest of the Ascent team, just by the way,
this is how he started getting the name right.
That's how I started getting it right. I think if they do well on that mid fight and Golden Cap, I think they're going to take it. Arx. I think they're going to take it. I'm not sure if TLR are just there yet, but have TLR already overachieved? Everyone expects US teams to come here and stomp, as they always did, to be fair, the first time they came over. So it's credit where credit's due. And I think we are live. Just about live, and it's my turn for the game to crack. Arx, take us through to third, final mid, before we have a third map, and Golden Cap Badlands, TLR versus Ascent. Lower round 4, winner will be going, if Ascent take this, they will be going through to the next round, but TLR, all or nothing. Right,
TLR Soldiers taking initiative here. Rando and Alpha both going down. That's one apiece at the moment. Who's coming out on top? A lot of damage is coming in. Soldier being flung up into the air there, but it looks like TLR, they might have to back out here. Ascent getting forward now, pushing players, and TLR indeed are having to push out of this point, well, fall out of this point. Ascent taking this one with only a single casualty as Alpha switches up to Sniper, ready for the inevitable push that is coming through. Obviously, him dying early does help him out in that respect, and we'll have to see if Ascent are going to be able to push through this choke. They do have their Uber charge, but they are able to slow this down. It is a Golden Cap. They don't want to make any mistakes, and if they can get a free pick somewhere, then, well, why not? As
I'm still trying to rejoin the game, Arx. We're just watching more at the moment. Secret sticky spot.
He gets someone.
He gets Enigma as he came running through. Are they going to push off that? Wow, I was going to say, wow, that's brave. As I alluded to, Ascent doing quite well on that midpoint. Didn't carry that momentum, Arx, and TLR slowed him down. Looking like, in fact, TLR are trying to be more aggressive, and they all know what it's to play for, and I would have surprised a little bit of hesitancy, maybe. Alpha running Sniper trying to get that pick. Nothing this time, but keep an eye on him. Arx, he needs that pick, and they probably push off that.
That's it. He's just peeking round to the choke point now. Is he going to get anyone? We saw there with the plug-in, the eyes on the Demo Man, really close to hitting him in the head, and it aims for the Scout as well. Doesn't manage to connect with that one either, and that might have to make them fall back here as Ascent push round to the side. They have popped their Uber significantly earlier than TLR have, and TLR jumping up onto Spire. Soldier gets air shot. What's air shot? Get air shot! Was that 3 air shots? Oh my gosh, crazy shooting there as TLR. Well, they do have a Soldier sitting up defending that Spire for now. Are Ascent going to be able to move forward? Badonsky doing work there on Herpy. And
still trying to jog away.
TLR players falling like flies. It's just Enigma, and he's in trouble as he fights 2 scouts. The medic, he's against the world. Is he going to be able to get anyone down? They can't hit him. Finally, Nico does fall to Shrugger. And Ascent going to be getting players slowly but surely up on that Spire.
Yes, but now we have, the only problem is, Arx, is that Ascent have a really, really big Uber advantage, and, well, they should be coming in very shortly, I expect, as they do capture that Spire. We're looking at 50% advantage, Arx. TLR, if they lose this, they are going out. See what the defense is doing. So we've got Engineer, of course, going up. No Pyro this time, so Herpy deciding not to. Well, in fact, he has run to Pyro, so apologies. Rando gets that SG nice and early. AMS taking care of Enigma, who's trying to get behind the point, and here come Ascent Arx, so they've got to try and push through, trying to get that pick. Again, slowing it down. No rush. Let's not rush it. Let's make sure. Let's wait for Enigma. Let's have all 6 players here. Uber has been forced. Ascent have no choice but to come in now, but they're so far back. Great play by the Pyro of Herpy there, and Ascent wasted Uber. Gonna have to recycle. Vital for TLR.
TLR holding on with their lives here. Just managing to hold that last. There is no time limit, so it is going to come down to Ascent being able to recycle that final push, and they can keep on trying it again if they don't fully commit to it. But TLR, will they opt to try and make a push out of here? It doesn't look like they're poised to do so at the moment. And it looks like we're going to have some downtime while Ascent do build up an Uber. TLR do have an Uber advantage, but it is so difficult to push out from this. You've got to cover all the flanks from the back caps. And yeah, they're just opting to hope that Ascent commits in for a push, and then they can make a push out when they kill enough players.
Yeah, just again slowing down ever so slightly, not wanting to rush anything. Rando coming in, trying to get in that bottom right-hand corner. No avail, falling back to that big med pack. Of course, no time limit now. This is not the days of old where we had 10-minute time limit for Golden Cap. It is literally winner take all, no draws, no third CP hold, no turtle on third CP. TLR.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my gosh. Well, we were completely oblivious as well. That's how good that was. And I was watching
Shrugs off the competition.
Podolski as he came through, and was that just someone not watching lower left again?
That is a player. Well, I'm sure we'll have a replay of it. Our cameramen seem to be very good at catching that sort of information.
So there we have it, Arx. But there we have it. So TLR, to our surprisement, after a first, a great first day holding Froyotech, they are actually out the tournament. So coming up next, we have an all-American, well, actually nearly an all-American fair. Of course, Reason Gaming first, and it's going to be Reason Gaming versus Ascent. Getting too ahead of myself now.
Yep. You're already predicting. Is that your predictions for
probably,
Ascent versus Reason?
I'm not sure. Let's see how Reason did against Saints, and we'll take it from there. Right, so we have no real damage to show you from that Golden Cap because it'll be very, very little. But what we may be able to show you is a highlight reel once we get that set up and going. But Arx, I did say Ascent, if they take that mid-fight, they would win it.
Did they
so
take
credit?
Did they take
where
mid-fight?
credit's due.
Yeah, true. Okay, fine.
Credit's due.
You've got me on that one.
You owe me a beer.
I bought the last one.
Let's have a look at some of these highlights. So again, AMS.
Great shot on
onto Fragile. First earlier on. See what else we've got coming up. War on his own as well, just taking care of some of these quick clips coming in here. Very quick, in fact. Nico, some great kill streaks. We would have thought carry that momentum. And
we're just all waiting for the triple. 1, 2, 3.
There's the triple.
Down.
That's the one we're all waiting for.
It was a cratered kill, but it still counts.
It still counts. Everything counts, mate. Everything counts. A win, it doesn't matter how you win, it's just you're winning.
Yep.
So if you have just joined us, you have missed a 2-map epic fight between TLR versus Ascent, and it
was really good.
Ascent going through to the lower round 5, TLR going home. So that band of merry men who came together very quickly before the tournament, they are actually in fact going home. Alpha, not a wasted flight. Would you say TLR have overperformed?
I think they did really well. I think they'll be disappointed with going out at this stage. That game could have gone either direction. They had their opportunities, and it certainly wasn't a one-sided affair. So I think they probably overperformed to community expectations, but yeah, I think they definitely had a good showing.
Yeah, so I guess where they'll finish off, so 4th, 5th, 6th, I think it's 6th or 7th they finish off in the end. That's where we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7, 2, 3, well, 4 or 5. I'm trying to get my maths right as well. So lower round 5, Reason versus Ascent coming up, and that is, I believe, at, what time is that, gentlemen? I think that's at 5 o'clock. Am I correct? 5 o'clock, thank you very much, as the merry men to my right and production team tell me otherwise over the headset. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back very shortly, and we'll leave you with the Twitch chat and guessing when the raffle is and what song is playing. We'll see you soon.